Good morning. Goal questions as December is coming to an end and January will soon be approaching. And I want to know from you, what do you even make goals? Is that even a thing for you? If you do make goals, what motivates you to keep going? Or is it one of those things we just pull one from the sky and then a couple weeks later we're done and out? What keeps you going when your goals get tough? Or what keeps you going? Or do you just stop? Do you just stop? Um, that's totally possible as well. So, as I'm consuming a lot of content on how to become better at YouTubing, because this is all new to me, the one thing that I am seeing a lot of people say is you must have a goal that is strong enough to keep you going, because if you start looking at metrics, how many views you get or how the reaction of things are, and that kind of thing is happening. If you start getting too focused on that and you forget why you even started, you may end up just quitting or getting demotivated, I guess is a good thing. And it just has me thinking, and I'm asking you guys too, like, if you make a goal, what is it that keeps you rolling towards it or makes you stop? Is so are you one of those people that when your goal looks really far, you're like, I'm too far, so I'm done, and you check out? Or are you one of those people that's like, I'm going to fight to get as close as possible to it? And then you're just, which camp do you sit on when it comes to that kind of stuff? I could tell you that for the longest time when I was training for my marathon, I it was such a ginormous task to say out loud 26.2 miles that it did not even seem real. But what I did find was that the more I got into the community, the more I seen that people brought that 26.2 down to 1 mile, 2 miles a day, 3 miles a day. And that I could handle. Like, I could handle the small part of the big, ginormous goal. I could not handle saying 26.2 out loud and not wanting to run the other way, right? And even when I was doing my training, I started with like a couch to 5K type of situation where you're not even running any miles, really. You're just shuffling. And I never really ran a whole 26.2. I shuffle walked, ran, and everything in between. I got through, I finished it. But I wasn't one of those people that was running the whole time. And it just got me thinking today, like, as I'm running towards my second big goal in the business, at the very beginning of the year, I took a photo. We as a group, I belong, like I've said before, we belong to this group and the Reseller Greatness group, and we break things down into digestible chunks. And at one point, we must have been reading the 10X book, because I'm part of the book club. Kudos to the book club. You girls are awesome. And we just really, it's amazing that if you start digging into other people's brains and see how they break down big goals into small, attainable daily chores, how much that changes everything. Everything. So when we're saying these big numbers that are like, what are you talking about? Who even does that? Just reading certain books and certain philosophies on how that particular author sees it, you may not agree with that person's perspective, but you may take one or two little threads out of that and then create your own journey. And for me, 10X was a big one. It was just like, how do you even do something like that? How do you grow that big? And I think it's about compounding, right? Like, honestly, at the end of the day, it's about compounding the things that you do every day. And if you continuously do them every day, you will start growing that snowball into a bigger snowball. the second book that was so like, it has me and my other book club member, we just, I don't know, it blew our minds this year. It is The Scaling by Dr. Benjamin, and he gave the book away free on his email. Like, if you sign up for his email, he will send you the book free. And we did a PDF. I did the PDF. Some people bought the book. Some people, I am a better listener than I am sit down to read. If you make me sit down to read, I may have an excuse not to do it. I will work and finagle with things all day. But if I could listen to a book, I'm all in. So that's what I did. And I'm part of the book club. It's every Monday at 7. And it's just one of those time zones, one of those times that my mind just gets to ruminate on different things that is, yes, is business related, but it's like listening to somebody else's frame of thought. So when Dr. Benjamin was talking about scaling and the fact that you have to, your brain works absolutely different when you're looking for big goals. So one of the big things that I came away from in that book is the the changing of time. Like, if you say in the next 10 years I will become $1 million company, then it may take you 9.5 years because you're just finagling around, you're fumbling around, you're not even paying attention to what you're doing. You're just, the chore expands to the time that you allow it to expand. So when he removes the time clock from that goal, from whatever your goal is, running, walking, becoming mentally healthier, becoming whatever your goal is, when you decide that you are going to remove that clock, it changes everything. And after reading it, it was one of the most life-changing books in regards to my business and how I'm looking at my business right now. So when I started the reselling business, I just wanted to see if it worked. Or as my coach calls it, I needed to do proof of concept. And for me, I knew that 60,000 a year was more than plenty for me to support myself and my kids and everything else. I wasn't happy. I was watching paint dry, but it was enough to keep us going. And so the concept of like creating a business that would scale past 60, creating a business that would double 60, that would possibly triple, like that was just so far out there that I was just like, yeah, I'm not sure about all this. But here's the thing that I do know. I'm a person that I can, if you break it down to me, because I'm smart, but I'm a slow learner, slow believer type of a person. I need to see it in action over and over. And then I'm like, you might have a point. Okay, we're in. So I will buy in. I am willing to sit in discomfort for however long it takes me to get to my goal. And I think that that's the one major component that has attributed to my business cracking the 100K. And every year I'm just fighting for the next step and the next step. And when is it enough? I don't know. I don't know when enough is enough, because I love what I'm doing right now. So it's not even like work. I'm just playing in the game and checking how far it goes. I think that when it comes to goals and money goals and that kind of thing, I don't necessarily, like, I will say a number for the sake of scorekeeping, but when it comes to like what I actually need number wise, I don't really care, because I'm not a shopper. Like, I'm not out there. I don't even spend the money I do make right now. So there's that. My scorekeeping is in how big can I get my savings account. That's my scorekeeping. How quickly can I pay something off if stuff hits the fan? How quickly can I rebound from, like, I don't know, a motor blowing up in my car or something like that. That is my scorekeeping. That's how I keep score. And yesterday we were having a off-topic conversation in our group, and this is the valuable part of being in a group with like-minded people. 100K business is the baseline in my group. Not my group, but the group that I belong to, and the group that I very openly talk about my fears, about my dreams, about things that I believe are impossible. And my coach always looks at me like I have three eyeballs because he's like, all right, keep going. Yep, whatever, keep going. But in the reseller greatness group, 100K is really the baseline. It's like, of course you would do 100K. Like, why wouldn't you? So, and that's one of the tiers that happens in that group. Like, once you get to 100K, you veer off to a different conversation, a different appointment group, because at that point, things start to become a little bit more serious. You need to figure things out a little bit more and create a little bit of structure. You can fumble. I fumbled my way into 100K. I will say that. Like, I had, for one, I'm not a person who does all these reports and numbers and like all this other stuff that these people were talking about. Yes, it's important to know that stuff. But if you tell me that I have to know all that stuff at the beginning, then I might just check out, because it wasn't something that it was too much. Like, the running a business and running it to 100K is learning along the way. At least that's how I looked at it. It's learning along the way. Like, you have to grab some stuff, sell some stuff, and keep running and figuring it out along the way. If you try to figure it all out first, you may just stop right there. You may just, like, you may never begin because you're busy figuring it out and not moving. And similarly, that's how I'm approaching YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing. I am willing to learn. I am willing to be here on camera looking absolutely clueless and being uncomfortable. And a lot of the fears of starting a business is the same thing as a lot of the fears of starting this. It's just that this goes public and everybody could see it. Where if you start a business and you don't make it, then you could just quietly go into the abyss and nobody knows anything, right? So all that to say, like, when you are creating a goal, what is it that keeps you going? Is one of my main questions to everybody, because if we can figure out what keeps us going when things are not feeling kosher, we can hopefully create the environment to help us navigate to the next step. Do I know how to do YouTube? No. Do I know how to turn on my camera and chat away to, like, my friends that are sitting across the table from me? Absolutely, I could do that. Do I know how to do videos that are cool and do jump shots and do all kinds of crazy stuff? Nope. So does that mean that I'm not going to learn that? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that if I can just start, gain momentum, then I'll pick up stuff along the way. But if I don't start because I need to learn how to put in B-roll. I've heard about this whole thing, B-roll. It looks so cool. Do I know how to do that? No, I don't. Am I going to let my daily vlog not go up because I don't know? No. Like, you get what you get and you don't fret. This is what it is right now. This is where we are in the learning curve. So as I tell my kids, you get what you get and you don't fret. And people will either come with you for the journey or they won't. So for me, the goal is to learn and bring you along with me, or not. You don't have to learn with me. You could learn with somebody who knows what they're doing, and that's perfectly fine too. I just think that there's space for all of us. There's space for the professional. There is space for the person that is learning on the fly. And the only person that doesn't get movement is the person that is sitting down thinking about it and not moving. Like, you need to do something. Either if you're going to learn all of it before you start, then do that, but do it. If you're going to learn on the fly like me, then do that, but do the action. You have to do the action before any goal becomes a reality. Also, I broke down my group to one thing. If I can just list consistently every day, everything else is going to take care of itself. I will fumble through, I will figure it out, I will learn as the lessons come at me, whichever way they come at me. And that has worked. It has worked really, really good. So every year I am fumbling from one money goal to the next. And the money goal itself is not important. It's the learning how to grow the business that is important. And what happens when the environment changes and AI takes over the world and we all are all unemployed and blah, 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 blah. What happens when we catastrophize that thing that we so want dearly? I don't know. And who cares? Because right now is right now. Like this is where we're at right now. So I will figure it out as I go. And if you want to join me for the journey of figuring it out, you're in the right place. With that, we are going to the flea market because they have the best pretzel rolls in my area. So they're breakfast pretzel rolls by the Amish. And my goal is to see them every Saturday. Have a good day.